gives me the RSS feed. It gives me the same information in the feed form. Copy the URL, and I'm going to use in this case I'm using blog lines, but use an aggregator of your choice. And I'm going to go ahead and create this new feed. I'm going to subscribe. Now, because I like to have some sense of order here, I'm going to go ahead and choose a folder. I've already created a folder called CECS 6320. What makes blog lines kind of unique is that it has this little B here. That's what we call the blog lines notifier. It's a little application that runs in the background, and anytime something new is added to one of my feeds, that new item will then trigger this little B to get an asterisk in the corner, little red asterisk, and that tells me something new is there. So I always, things I'm really interested in, I make sure that I have that checked. Click subscribe. And if I scroll down the list, there it is, CECS 6320, and there are 3 items in it. And by clicking on that, it'll actually take me to those 3 items. So I can go ahead and begin to create feeds for every individual who uses Delicious and tags things with CECS 6320. So this is a great way to share information amongst the class. So let's go back now, and I want to show one more thing with Delicious. Let's go back to my favorites. And I want to go ahead and post something new. Now, when you set this up on your computer, you're going to want to use the buttons, and you'll see in a moment it'll prompt you for that. I found this site out here. It's a interactive learning environments for children. These are various proceedings from that, and it looks as if it might have some decent information. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that URL, go back to my Delicious account, and click Post. I'll paste the URL here. You'll notice this is where it's prompting you to use the browser buttons. It is much easier that way, but since you may not have those installed yet, I thought I'd show you this is a way that you can always do it from any computer, even if you don't have control over the ability to install browser buttons on it. Click Save. Now, I have to give it a description. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that heading and drop that in the description here. Now the fun begins. I get to organize this. I need to tag it. So I'm going to tag this as UNT first because it's something that I've found while at UNT. That's just, you come up with your own folksonomy, if you will. A space tells me that I can go ahead and add another tag now. I'm going to say CECS 6320. Now you'll notice that because I've used it before, it pops up and I can simply select it. I'm going to type it out so that you can see how you'll have to do this. And then I might tag it as interactive learning environments. And again, the space would signify a tag, so I need to run the word together if I want it to show up this way. I want that to actually be a tag. I'm going to go ahead now and save this. Actually, before I save it, I can come down to the bottom. I don't have that there. Sometimes they give you some suggested tags. And we click Save. And we now have added, there's 6320. It takes a moment to update that list, but there is our one-day workshop on interactive learning that we just added. Now, one last thing that you can do is you can add people to your network. So here you can see my network, and Dr. Jones is in my network. And if you find someone who has a lot of links and interests that you have, you can go ahead and add them to your network. And of course, they might add you to theirs. So this is delicious. And again, this will be helpful in our being able to share information, resources back and forth.